Cesc here at Padel Smash. Today we're at the Sports Haus to do a club review.
And we are all things paddle.
So I've broken it down to 4 basic categories. One is the cost, the location, the courts, and amenities. All right, so let's talk about cost because that's what's important, right? So it is a member, non-member cost. So we're going to go over that. But first, to become a member, it's about $105 a month. It's about $1,200 a year with a $399 initiation cost. And what do you get for that? What is the differences? And we're going to go over that right now. So it's about $120 an hour for members and about $200 an hour for non-members. So it's a big difference there. And then that's through peak time. So off peak, it would be $100 for members and $160 for non-members. So the off peak is going to be before 9 o'clock during the week and 12 to 5 during the week. And on the weekends, it's going to be 9 o'clock, before 9 o'clock, and after 5 o'clock. Okay? So at the end of the day, you have to decide whether or not it's worth for you to become a member. I'm going to be honest, I'm a member right off the bat. Even before I was one of the founding members, before it was even open. I knew that I was going to be here in the summer and in the winter, and I needed a place to play. In Florida, I play about 3 times a week, maybe more. So I guess you have to figure out how often you're going to play. At the beginning, you might be testing out the sport, but I got to tell you, you're going to be addicted to this sport. So if you're going to be playing more than 2 times a week or 3 times a week, I think it's best for you to become a member, but that's something that you have to decide. So let's talk about location. We're at 129 Woodland Avenue, and that's in Norwalk, Connecticut. It's kind of like an industrial area, mixed use. But once you pull in, they did such an amazing job with the exterior and the parking, and they got some electrical chargers there for your EV cars. They did a great job. Locally, there's some restaurants there. So after you're done playing, if you're hungry, you can hit some of those restaurants and bars. And then if you go a little further out, close to the highway, you have they have a mall, and you have 2 bigger restaurants there and bars, and there's good parking there. So we've been going there afterwards. And it's about 5 minutes from the highway. So once you get off the highway, it's 5 minutes to get there. To get on the highway, it's 5 minutes back. Again, that's on 95. So location is easy access. Let's talk about the courts. It's probably one of the most important things. The court manufacturer is Set, and it's a great brand. They have the turf, which is Mundo turf, and it's a little shorter. Okay, and then they don't do silicone sand because they're indoors. And the biggest thing is always going to be height, right? Because as you know, you're only as good as your lob in paddle. So here you're about at the lowest 22.5, okay, and at the highest 25 and 2 inches. Okay, the minimum regulation for height on the court is 27 feet. So you're almost there, but you're always going to have to deal with that when dealing with indoor courts. Again, there's pros and cons in that. I play in both. Indoor courts, of course, you have a controlled environment. You don't have to worry about your game being canceled, because it's indoor. You don't have to worry about being super hot and muggy. But you do have to change your game up a little bit because you can't do those pincho lobs, But at the end of the day, all 4 are playing with the same ceiling height. Let's talk about amenities here. First, they have nice showers here that you can use that both member and non-members can use. They have some charging stations for your electric vehicle. They have a wine and beer off the tap, self-serve. That's the coolest thing. That's the first time I've seen that in any club. And they got, cold foods, sandwiches and salads, which is great. But more importantly, it's the atmosphere. You come in this club, everybody's really nice. Everybody's excited to play. Everybody talks to you. They say hi to you. Everybody hangs out afterwards. It's starting to become a little bit of a community here, which is always key and always, great to see. Because sometimes when you come here first time, you're just a little cautious, a little nervous, a little intimidated. I don't really get that feel, which is something that is needed in a club to attract not just great players, but beginners and all players. Okay, product affiliation, there with Adidas. Adidas has a wide variety of paddles or rackets for anybody's needs, from beginners to more advanced players, you know. So you shouldn't have any issues finding a racket for you. They also use Fusion for their apparel. You know, if you're gonna buy some clothing, it's, you know, very similar to our racket sports clothing. So let's talk about what's also important is the tournaments they have here, because I think that's, you know, a key thing for anybody starting to play this sport or any sport, is to kind of get involved with clinics, with you know, with your coaches, with, you know, with the tournaments, in-house tournaments, or even third-party company tournaments. So when it comes to third-party company tournaments, they're working with Red Paddle, the NPL, and also the USPA. Those are all great tournaments. I mean, I like them all. You know, if you're again, if you're kind of a beginner, you may not be entering those tournaments, or you could. But they also have house league tournaments, and that's where I kind of suggest you start. And they have them throughout the week. They have the pros, they have the intermediate, and they have the beginners. It's about 12 sessions, and you'll play a minimum of 10. And the cost is about $365 for members, and about a little over $600 for non-members. This is your best route when it comes to starting this sport, because you don't know anybody, and maybe you get some friends to play, and then maybe those friends don't want to play, you know, again, but you do. So how do you meet people? You know, you take lessons, you do clinics, you join the league, house league, and you get to meet people there. You know, and more importantly, you get to learn, and so that's really key. And they've structured where they have, you know, the house leagues, which is really great, and then obviously, once you feel confident and once you have a partner, you can then again participate in the NPL, the Red Paddle, and also USPA. So how do you get started and how do you play? You know, of course, you can come down here and visit and just get the feel of things. But I think what's most important is downloading the app, okay, for your Apple or your Android. Okay, you download the app, you register. You know, you can see everything what's going on there on the app. You know, when it comes to the club. You can see the tournaments, you can see the house leagues, you can see the coaches there, and you can sign up for some lessons. You can book courts there. I think that's kind of like the first step to get involved here, you know, in playing paddle, especially if you're new. Now, you know, reviewing this club, I gotta say it's a great club. There's 5 courts. There's one official one that has extra space on the sides. When you have real tournaments, you know, most people are gonna put that ball outside, and they're going to retrieve that ball. They're going to defend that ball. They have great courts. The location is easy. For me, I'm an hour away, but, you know, I'm a fanatic, so I'm coming here a few times a week. But, you know, the highway's really close from there. They have great amenities here. All the details are done. And, you know, a lot of times when I come to clubs, new clubs, you know, there's maybe 10 or 15% of the things not done. There's like little details that are done, but all the details here are done. Everything is new. It looks great. I played already a couple times here. The courts play really well. If you're a paddle player, come down. If you are new to the sport, again, download the app. Get yourself in a lesson. Get yourself in a clinic. Get yourself in a house tournament. Meet people, and I'm telling you, you're going to be addicted. Now, whether joining as a member or not, I mean, that's really up to you. If you see yourself spending more money and playing a lot more, you know, within a few months, I suggest becoming a member. If you see yourself playing, you know, a handful of times a year, then probably not. But I got to tell you, once you start playing this sport, and if you come from any racket sport, you're going to be addicted like I am, and you're going to continue playing. Thanks for joining me at Padel Smash, and below I'm going to give you the information needed to get started in playing here at the Sports Haus, and I'll see you at the next Padel Club review.
Guys, if you haven't already, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications.
And remember, it's free $99. It doesn't cost you anything to hit that subscribe button.
Thanks for tuning in to Padel Smash Academy. We hope you'll find our videos informative, helpful in improving your game and learning all things paddle.
So until next time, keep improving your game. And remember, learn, play, and share.